out there. So Alexander kind of gives you that freedom to move people in places that can't normally move them. So that would be my thing. Sup,
Mhm.
C?
What is
What
up,
up? What
man?
up?
How's it going?
All right. Sorry I'm late.
No, all good, man. All good. This show's about just coming in and just talking football. No time, just come in and hang out. That's it. So we're talking about Jair Alexander and his release. And I know you were talking about it on your live about the Dolphins or whatever, possibly grabbing him. Give us your thoughts about him.
Well, I think if you're the Miami Dolphins, you need to absolutely jump on this. There's a lot of backlash from the Miami Dolphins fan base about signing Jair, which I don't understand whatsoever. I mean, to be honest, I believe Jair Alexander from a coverage standpoint is an upgrade over Jalen Ramsey. And if you can get out this Jalen Ramsey mess with a replacement that is just as good, if make the deal. Now, listen, I'm not forgiving this guy a long-term contract because of the injury history, but I'm talking about a 1-year deal. I don't care even what the dollar amount is for the 1 year, but it's a 1-year deal. It's not going to hit you for the future. It's not going to set you back. I just don't understand why you wouldn't go all in for Jair Alexander, especially considering you're going all in because you're strapped for cash. You got a Tyreek Hill who's making $30+ million. You signed Tua to a long-term deal who's making 50-60 million dollars a year. You got Jalen Waddle who's making $30 million a year. You got Bradley Chubb on the other side of the ball. You got Jalen Phillip. You got players on this team that if you fill out the holes that they do have, they can be a really competitive team this year. And I just don't understand the the backlash about signing this guy.
Nah,
I
see,
don't
Right.
in
understand it.
all honesty, man, I'm with you, dude. I wouldn't understand why you guys wouldn't want to either. I wouldn't know why any of our franchises wouldn't want to. Like we said, the only thing that you can knock the kid for is his injury history, But when he is healthy and he is on that field, dude, he is the best corner in the NFL. Truly. Like no one throws to his side. You don't even try to think about throwing to his side. He's just locked down, dude. So I
Yeah.
understand your frustration with that one. And who knows, you guys or James or us, we might find the secret in keeping him healthy, and then you have him a whole healthy year, and God knows what will happen.
Yeah.
So I get it, man.
So, hey, my guy Blackheart is in the building from Over the Top Ropes Network, who just partnered with us for his wrestling shows. He's actually a Patriots fan, so shout out to you, man. How you doing?
Hello, hello, and it's off the top roast, Mitch. I mean, I know we keep going back and forth with that one. What's going on, fellas? This is my first time here. I know I promised Mitch a long time ago I'll jump on this thing at least whenever I got up on time. So, here I am. Unfortunately, yes, I am from Boston, Massachusetts, so that makes me a Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox. I don't really need to watch that Revolution shit up here like that. It's not really my scene. Um, yeah, so basically I'm just a regular Bostonian in this Boston team and shit like that. But to be here talking football, I guess I kind of jump into the Patriots little situation and shit like that. I know I'm still kind of iffy with the Drake May situation, even though if you really should have asked me, we should have just kept what's his face? We should have kept Joe Milton the third before trading him to Dallas. No disrespect to anyone that's a Patriots fan on here, but that trade that we did for Jerry Jones sucked. We should have kept his ass. But that's just me talking. All right. We should have never got after Joshua Dobbs, even though I kind of liked him on the Vikings team that he was on for the last 1-2 seasons prior. But I just think they just try to do something different with the offensive coordination now that we got Josh McDaniels back. That's been the one guy that Robert Kraft trusted more than anyone in the world, especially when the Belichick era was around. That was his number one offensive coordinator guy. So, and plus, I think we screwed him out of that deal with him becoming the head coach when Belichick was about to walk out the door the first time. But, they played proxy because of, racial situations and shit like that. The representation that Massachusetts may get because of not enough black coaches, so that thing could be a little hasty if you ask me. But because me, I'm a black guy. Me, I do say NFL does need more black head coaches, but they also really need black owners to kind of illustrate the differences of what another nationality's head coaching psychology and mechanisms can actually do to help an organization regrow its base, its fan base, and more importantly, the culture of football. Anything else? Stephon Diggs, question mark. I don't know what's going on with this man, but for me, I don't know if anyone here is part of the hip hop and rap scene and shit like that, but if some of y'all know about this whole Cardi B and Offset situation, he's right in the middle of that goddamn thing, and this is going to be one of those hasty situations where it could cause an effect to his play on the field. So that's my only theory of what could happen with Stephon Diggs. I mean, I was kind of happy to get him, but then I was like, we got him too late. We got him too late if you ask me. But I digress. We still need a lot of offensive line help, especially when it comes to that offensive line to protect. But the defense, I give credit to the defense this offseason because we actually made some changes with that. And try to rebuild up some old mechanisms that we didn't do the past 2 seasons. Just hitting a lot of reset buttons for this New England team. I mean, I should say, but needless to say, if I could give like an overall grade, I give it a decent B for us.
So let me ask you this, dude. We're actually talking about Jair Alexander right now from Green Bay getting released. What are your thoughts on that, man? On Jair getting released, and where do you think he could possibly go?
Damn, I did not know about that until just when you told me that. That was kind of a shocker, but I think they're trying to reduce some of the salary cap that Green Bay is going to be facing in the next year or two with their whole lineup, especially with the Jordan Love contract, that's going to gobble up like a good 45 to 50% of that pay. So you're going to have to kind of regroup a couple of things, or maybe it was some offset issues that can happen. But I think any team like a Texans or something like that, any mid-range team that's trying to get over the hump and get into the playoffs could probably pick up a guy like him, and he can get a rejuvenation out of a different team, a different move, a different coordinator. Sometimes it just takes a change of scenery to try to rejuvenate yourself again. So I think this is just one of the many things that just goes on in the NFL, and anyone that gets released, there's always going to be another team that's going to be out there looking for someone just like you to come play for them.
Yeah. The thing for me with Jair Alexander, he's a top 10 corner in the NFL. He'll make the impact no matter where he goes. It's just the availability for me. It's 7 games. Like what AK was saying earlier for the Eagles, that would be such a good fit. That's Quinyon Mitchell right there. So it's just like the availability, but when he's there, he is he's a lockdown corner. Everyone's afraid to throw the ball his way. No matter where he goes, it's going to make a huge impact. So for me, that is how I feel about it. And now let's get into Nick Chubb, who just got picked up by the the Cleveland Browns? Texas. There we go. Joe Milton and Nick Chubb, that running back duo is crazy. I mean, Joe Milton and Nick Chubb, AK, you and I were talking about this earlier. So, Big C, how do you feel about the Texans signing Nick Chubb?
Well, this is another thing that the Miami Dolphins just don't learn their lesson. We struggle in short yardage situations, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and 2. And yet another power running back becomes available, a very productive power running back becomes available, and Miami doesn't hop on him. I think Nick Chubb still has a lot in the tank. When healthy, he's a top 10 back, I would say. He's a decent receiver, very good runner. I definitely think this makes Houston better, but I don't know how much better because Joe Mixon had a very productive season last year. So splitting those carries between those guys, or even Nick Chubb getting a limited amount of carries, how much of a difference is he going to make for the Houston Texans? I'm not sure it's that much, but I think there's teams out there that should have signed Nick Chubb that he could have made a world of a difference for.
All right. James, how about you, man? How about Nick Chubb going to the Texans?
I like that for him. I'm one of the probably few Steeler fans who really like Nick Chubb. And it helps when you play against him that many times a year.
Right.
The dude was just dominant as the Browns running back. And I can't imagine him in a better offensive system and how good he could be. To me, from what I saw this offseason, he's already back to squatting 700 plus pounds, which is an astronomical amount of weight for a normal person, let alone somebody coming off of a nasty knee injury. So I have no doubt that he's fully ready to go for this season. And I agree with Big C. Anybody that needed a running back, specifically even just a short yardage guy, why you didn't jump on Nick Chubb, I don't know. I understand why Pittsburgh didn't. They're not really in a position after drafting a running back to need one, and they really like Jaylen Warren. But a lot of other teams probably should have been lining up for him. And I would push that in his prime, he was probably a top 5 running back in the NFL. I got a lot of respect for Nick Chubb and what he was able to do at his peak. And I also agree with Big C. I think he's got a lot left in the tank. And the teams that didn't jump on him might really regret that. But was it a 1-year deal with this signing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so he'll get a chance to hit the market again after this year and really prove it. But I hope he's able to fully rebound and really tear it up, and then go get a big contract from somebody like Saquon or Derrick Henry, because I truly think that his potential is up there with those guys.
I just don't know how much of an opportunity he's going to get with Joe Mixon on the team too. You know what I mean? So
I think the problem really is for him is the fact that too many injuries, and let's just be clearly honest about the Texas situation, right? You know how the game is changing more into a wide receiver game more than anything right now, and that's how you see the running backs are getting these mid-level, high-ranking deals that's up to maybe 24, 30 mil. But you look at it like a wide receiver, they're getting paid 40 to 50 mil. So I think right now it's just get the biggest bag as you can, especially if you're Nick Chubb, especially when Father Time comes in, creeps in on you. None of us is going to get any younger. And with those injuries, it's going to add a bunch of time. Plus with Joe Mixon, I think it just added more offensive power, so Joe Mixon doesn't have to do all the work. I know the previous season he done a lot for that Texas team that didn't really came close. It got it over their hump, but some key things came in, and that's what screwed up this season. So I think this is just an insurance policy for the Texans more than anything, just in case. And I do agree with James that if Nick Chubb does do well, then a bigger contract will come into play for some weirdo team out of nowhere. Someone that we didn't even think about is going to pick him up and be like, hey, we'll give you this much money if you stay for 3 years. Cool. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it. More than anything, you say sometimes this is just going to be a year for him to just show the league, yo, I'm worth this money. You know what I'm saying? If you're a team out there that really needs me to try to get over your hump and be a top playoff contender before my time is up, sign me. You know what I mean? So there's only a handful of teams that still needs a running back, by the way, but probably don't even have the cap salary to get him, or maybe he just want to go to certain teams. Because sometimes these people, they'll pick and choose about where they want to go.
Well, he only signed a $2.5 million deal or something, right? Something stupid low. And I just don't know how. I don't know how much of
a veteran minimum. I say this kind of the veteran minimum, if you ask me.
I just don't know how much he's going to be able to show with 10 to 12 carries a game. I just don't see him getting too many. You know what I mean? Unless Joe Mixon gets hurt, I think he should have waited for a better opportunity.
Yep, exactly. That's why I said he might be just an insurance policy.
AK, how about yourself, man? How do you feel about this signing?
First and foremost, again, we didn't have any people in here at the beginning when we said it. Happy Father's Day to everyone that's in here who is a dad.
Happy Father's Day,
fellas. Special day. Listen, first and foremost, Nick Chubb has had 3 ACL injuries his whole career, 2 on the same knee. I understand the worry about him. Well, let me give you a little example here. You guys remember in 2017 when we won the Super Bowl, our halfback was LeGarrette Blount. Who was our backup? Bad legs Jay Ajayi. He was kind of wore out at that time. Listen, the Bengals got rid of Mixon because they didn't believe he had it anymore. And last year he proved that he could get over 1,000 yards again. Nick Chubb, I understand. I guarantee you the Browns not only did it to free up cap space, but they did it because they were unsure of his health and how he was going to be. And I understand that. You're not trying to get Nick Chubb to be your starter. You want him to be the Jay Ajayi, the one you can bring in for, like C said, 12 carries. But those 12 carries that Nick Chubb has are going to be outrageous, especially if the kid is healthy and keeps doing what he did in Cleveland. He's going to break tackles. He's going to do many, many things. And also another good reason for this is draft capital. What happens if one of our halfbacks go down in the middle of the season here before the trade deadline and Nick Chubb is doing good? Well, they have trade bait now. They can trade him away and get capital for him. So it's a smart move by the Texans, man. You don't have to use him as much, which means you save his energy, you save his legs, you save his. He's more of probably a playoff back at this point, for them. When they get into the playoffs, he's fresh he can do more damage then. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it, but I think it's a solid pickup because that's a hell of a 1-2 punch.
Yeah. Speaking of 1-2 punch, who is the best, in your guys' opinion, the best running back duo in the NFL right now? Because now you got the Eagles getting A.J. Dillon. Now you got Nick Chubb going to the Texans. So it's just like, who do you guys think is the best running back duo? There's a lot of good ones. AK, me and you were just trying to name them all, and they was like, so we couldn't think of any.
Well,
Like,
and
that's
I know
one.
the Chargers have a pretty good duo over there with Najee and their new guy they drafted.
Mhm.
Listen, there is a lot of good ones.
Right?
That's really hard. I mean, if we're looking at talent wise and career, man, I'd either say it's the Texans or us, just due to the fact that Nick Chubb and Saquon are kind of on the same level to where AJ and Mixon are on the same level. You know what I mean? Like they kind of equal each other out to me. It's even, man, in those two terms. But
Mm.
yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I'm gonna just be blunt. If you can't beat Saquon Barkley to win a Super Bowl championship, then you know that you can't be on the same parallel as that winning duo that was up there. I don't know about the whole AJ Brown
Listen, I
situation
wasn't
right
trying
now.
to wear my cap today, okay? I was really trying to be.
Nah,
I'm really trying to be.
Nah, because listen, right? 'Cause, like, you know how like they always say yesterday's price is not today's price. So
Yeah,
once you're Philadelphia, when you won that Super Bowl just recently, your price just went all the way the fuck up to the point where now you're getting a bigger bag. That means now you are in more prized possession in any team that you go to. You are the X factor, or can be a key addition to any team that may need someone like a Saquon Barkley or a Joe Mixon or even an Eckler now from the Chargers and shit like that. But I do agree with you, AK, that the whole Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb's thing is a great duo, especially when you said about the whole reserving Chubbs for later on down the stretch by like week 15, 16, when he's still fresh. He can come in and stuff like that he can make an impact. And that won't change anything about the Texans' offense. You know what I'm saying? So, if Joe and Nick can just flip-flop back and forth like each week, one of them can be the leading rusher, and then the other week, someone else, the other person who didn't do it the first week, do it for the second week. They just go back and forth, back and forth. If you manipulate that a little bit, then you can have a well-oiled offensive machine if you're the Texans.
He needs to come more often so he can just do my job for me.
That is true. James, how about you, man? Who do you think is the best running back duo in the NFL right now?
You're muted, James.
You muted, James.
Yeah, you're right. I was muted. So I was flipping through trying to find somebody that I really, really like. And I think the Chargers have a pretty solid group there. So maybe the Chargers. I don't know. I like Pittsburgh's combination. I think that's going to prove out to be better than people expect it to be. I'm not going to call it the best in the league. Not a chance. But
It's Warren and who, James? Who do you have other than Warren?
Caleb Johnson, who was the entire offense
Johnson.
for Iowa
Okay.
last year.
Yep.
Because their offense was pitiful, and that dude got like 27 touchdowns or something in that offense. I don't know how he did that when they hardly scored any points, but a ridiculous production from him. Are you allowed to include a quarterback? Because if so, then Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry.
I knew someone was going to go that route.
If I'm allowed to include a quarterback, that's the one I would choose.
Hey, wait a minute. Doesn't Pittsburgh hate Baltimore?
Yeah, but I can respect good players.
Oh no! Just to hear you say that with the whole Pittsburgh background and stuff like that, I was kind of like, oh man, I hope no one's watching him say that out loud.
Big
Hey, you
C,
gotta
how
put
about you?
respect where
Oh
it's
shit,
given,
man!
man.
You'll say like that's like me saying to like the Giants or like the Miami Dolphins. I'm like, this team is off the fucking hook, and you know what I'm saying? And I'm a Patriot, and I'm not supposed to say that.
Yeah, but you got to give him respect where it's due.
Right, exactly. So I'm just like, fans at home, you hear me ever say that shit out loud? I must be high this morning.
Believe me, I had plenty of criticism for Lamar Jackson early in his career, but there's no criticizing him anymore. That man's game is complete now.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Big C, how about you, man? Who's the best running back duo in NFL?
Well, James is right. The correct answer is the Baltimore Ravens. But if you're going traditional, it's the Detroit Lions with Gibbs and Montgomery. They both were fantastic running backs last year. Both bring a different element to the table. You didn't know which one was going to go off last year, and I think they're leaps and bounds the best combo as far as 1-2 punch.
I completely forgot about the Lions. That was a good pull.
They might have both went over 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns last year.
Yeah, if Montgomery wasn't injured for 4 games, yeah, he probably would have been.
I
think he might have been close anyway.
And St. Brown too.
Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of good running back duos out there. I can't wait to see who performs. We still got a couple more months. We got the training camp. We got preseason to see all these running backs gel and see where they go from here.
Hey,
But-
I got a question real quick. Who's your guys' rookie halfback you're looking forward to most seeing this year? Do you guys have one?
For us Patriots, I don't even know. I really don't even know.
Is Xavier Worthy?
James
Mahomes
C,
big
you
man?
guys got one?
I mean, it's probably kind of bandwagon to say Ashton Jenney, but I am kind of excited to see what he can do in the NFL after such an electric career in college. Obviously, I'm excited to see my own rookie running back because I think he's going to take over the starting role probably by week 6 or 7. Ashton Jenney, just his tape in college was absolutely incredible, and I don't know if he'll be able to do that on that Raiders team, but if he can, that'll really speak volumes about how talented he is.
Facts. See?
Yeah, it's got to be Gentry. I mean, there's so much hype behind him that, you got to see if he can live up to it. A lot of these running backs come out of college and they don't live up to it. It's got to be Gentry for me.
Well, mine is, and I'm going to be real, and it's only because I love saying his name. I hope it's Scattaboo, man. I love saying
I
that
knew
name.
it.
Don't you guys love saying it? Like, listen, I'm an Eagles fan. Giants got him and stuff, but I love that name, dude, because I swear if he breaks off an 80-yard run, I'm going Scattaboo. Like, it's just awesome, dude. It's a great name.
Oh my God.
Scattaboo sounds like it.
I knew you
Scattaboo
were
sounds
gonna
like a
say
song from
that.
Destiny's Child back in the day called Bugaboo and shit. Oh, that you a bugaboo.
Yeah.
Scattaboo.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's his name, bro. I don't know his first name, but his last name is
It's
Scattaboo.
Cam. It's Cam
Cam
Scatterboo.
Scatterboo. Yeah,
Yo, but Scamaboo.
it's gonna be an awesome last name, dude.
Oh my
Scam
god!
a
Can you
boo.
imagine the Can you imagine the jersey sales? People just want to have the Scatterboo on their back. They just want to
Yeah.
have that name. They don't even
He's
care.
he's gonna be good. He's gonna be a
Mhm.
good back.
hmm
Yeah.
I
If we
might
gotta
just
play
buy a
him twice
jersey
a
of his
year.
just because of his name, dude. I'm not even playing.
Yeah, that's
Or
exactly what I
make
said.
one. Or make a jersey just in case if the
There
company
you go.
doesn't even make his jersey.
But
See, Jose Scatterboo. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
you
that
can
shit
make
is
some
gonna
fun with
have
it.
so
Yeah.
much jokes when it comes to that last name now.
oh my god! Just-
I feel bad
Well,
for him now because
in
the way how
all
like, we had to
honesty,
break
they
down
might
his whole
just.
last name.
In all
I feel
honesty,
bad
if
for
the Giants were actually really good about this, dude, what they would do is every time he breaks a big run, they just start booing.
I gotta ask this. The Halloween is on Thursday night. Does the Giants have a game on Halloween now? I gotta see if they have a game on that day.
Wait, there's a
Scatterboo.
game on Halloween night?
It's Thursday night, isn't it? Yeah, just look, Thursday night football.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
A spooky edition
Wait,
of Thursday
hold on.
Night Football live on NBC.
Okay, it's Friday. Friday.
Oh,
it's the next
Friday.
day.
Oh, nope.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, no, that would be cool though, man. Especially like decorate your
Yeah.
stadium in a Halloween theme or something. You know, that'd be cool. But
We just have the fans just come in dressed up in Halloween costumes and shit.
That'd be crazy, but yeah, let's get right into the next one. AK, you came up with this one when I was talking here. Coaches on the hot seat. Is there any coaches in the NFL right now that you think could lose their job after, like, who's gonna have to perform? Let's start off with James on this one here. Do you have any coaches
by
that
the
could
way,
be on
you
the
can
hot
have
seat?
more than one. I have 5.
Damn.
So you can have more than one.
5's probably right. I'll start close to home here, and you have to wonder if the turnaround isn't quick here after heading in the wrong direction in a very, very fast manner. Will Kevin Stefanski go from being coach of the year to not having a job in a matter of a couple of years? The fan base there is not very patient. I think he's a tremendous coach, but they were already calling for his head halfway through the year last year. If they're a bad team again this year, it's going to get real loud in Cleveland. And I think they should hang on to him, but I could see him getting booed out of town.
Okay.
No more? You don't have any more?
No, I'll save the rest for everybody else.
Alright. Butterfly has Zach Taylor. Okay.
No, that's a great one, man. The Bengals.
Zach
Um,
Taylor.
Honestly, for me, I would say the Baltimore Ravens is head coach. Like, because listen. I know you're going to score me for this. How long has he been there? How long has he been there with and I'm thinking about Lamar Jackson's timetable. He's still young, but all that time he was getting to the playoffs, the AFC Championship, and they never got over the hump when it came to the Bills or when it came to the Chiefs. I'm thinking it's the head coaching situation over there in Baltimore right now. That dude over there, he's on the hot seat because he doesn't get them anywhere to where they was even close to regionally becoming the AFC champions. Again, he's gone.
I love it, bro. I love it.
Because don't be wasting Lamar Jackson's time and shit trying to keep him in Baltimore, and you guys are not getting over the hump.
Big C, how about you? You got any coaches on the hot seat?
I mean, Kevin Stefanski's a good answer. Zach Taylor's a good answer. Mike McDaniel, Brian Dable, Shanahan. I'm sure there's a couple more you could throw in there. But yeah, that's top ones for me.
All right. AK, who are your 5?
All right, well, the Browns one definitely shocked me. I didn't even put that one in there, but that's actually a good one. Definitely agree with the Baltimore take. I got the Bills head coach, with Josh Allen. Listen, man, for sure, You get to the playoffs every year, but you haven't been able to beat Pat. Last year was both Lamar and Josh Allen's time to beat Pat, especially with that offense, how bad it was. They should have been able to do it last year, and they didn't. So I put a lot of that on their head coaches. So I'm looking at them this year. Zach Taylor was another one, and my last one is the 49ers, man. You know, um, they have had the last 7 years over there, and they've had really good teams, and they made it to the Super Bowl once and failed. And listen, I get these coaches are all really good, you know, and they're in the playoffs every year, but owners, they just don't want playoffs. They want wins and they want Super Bowls. And if they feel their teams are built well enough to win and you don't win, you know, we fired a Super Bowl winning coach in Doug Peterson. So to that point, anyone's on the hot seat and anyone can be fired. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Can I just make one suggestion to the NFL then? Fire the current referees and hire some new ones. Maybe if we get that, we get some legitimate referees that know the fuck that they're talking about. Half of these games that we suffered through for the last 3 to 4 seasons will not happen.
No, I'm not going to play, bro. I can't believe we're sitting here in 2025 and sometimes we still don't know what the fuck a catch is. That's ridiculous.
We don't know shit, man. We don't know what an off-balance catch is. We don't know what a one toe outside the line is anymore.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what passing interference is now anymore.
Yeah. So,
we can't even tackle the referee now. I mean, excuse me. We can't even tackle the QB now. That's how bad that it got.
Yeah.
Remember back in the 70s and the 80s where if you cracked a QB, it was fun. Now it's not fun anymore.
So Jose comes in and goes, all the bad coaches are fired already. I got to put my guy McDaniel on the hot seat. All right.
Well, listen, I get all the bad coaches are fired already. I mean, James, even you can contest to this. You have heard people say that Tomlin's on the hot seat. Even last year, they were saying it. If he doesn't win this year, who knows what will happen? I don't think you guys should fire Tomlin at all.
Okay, wait. Tomlinson, a.k.a. Tomlinson, should have got his ass released 3 seasons ago. The only reason why that they didn't, because they didn't find no one that could match the same mentality as his. And they didn't want to change the culture to completely obliterate everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Pittsburgh is just that diehard, hard-nosed team that needs that toughness. And Mike Tomlinson represented that for so fucking long, to the point where you look at the other coaches now, it's all about finesse, speed, catch. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not about the defensive presence like that anymore. Certain teams represent certain culture attributes and characteristics that makes them who they are.
Yes, but if you look at certain teams too, though, a lot of it rests on loyalty.
I understand
for instance, James, like you guys have had 3 coaches in the last 30 years. That's tremendous, dude. Props to you guys. Nobody can do that. Green Bay's another one. Loyalty. We're another one. Loyalty. Those the Giants.
Then you see what's happening now with the newer coaches coming in from the NCAA into the NFL, and they're trying to change some of that culture shit around a lot. And we've seen that before so many times in the past, where we only stuck with one head coach for maybe 20 seasons before we let him go. Now you can barely even scrape past 7 years, maybe 8 tops.
18 seasons, Jose. He's won 18 seasons straight.
Yeah, there's the issue that Pittsburgh has going on right now is that the part of the crowd or the part of the fan base that really wants to see some playoff production. Hey, let's be honest, all of us want to see the Steelers go to the playoffs and succeed, but that group is getting louder and louder with every year that they go to the playoffs and either lose in the first round or don't make it at all. So it is starting to get to a point where it's going to be tough to ignore the fact that the playoff wins and the success in the playoffs are not happening anymore with Mike Tomlin. I'm a big Mike Tomlin guy. I don't think they should move on from Mike Tomlin.
I agree. Yeah.
But eventually it gets to a point where is it falling on deaf ears? Is the locker room just not going to be able to take the next step with him at the head of the group. And that's what they have to ask themselves in the next few years here. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers can take them to the point where they can at least win one playoff game and buy him a little more time. But
wait, I'm sorry for laughing. I'm sorry for laughing. I'm sorry for laughing at the whole Aaron Rodgers thing because I was like, when you said if he could get them into the playoffs, you said, oh my God, you got the most enigma character since Brett Favre on your team. And that's what I'm scared of right now because as much as I respect Aaron, but his philosophies in certain ways just don't add up to what the Pittsburgh Steelers are really looking for. So that was my biggest thing. I was like, bro, you made them wait, 2 months for you just to give him an answer about a 1-year deal? I'm like, bro, stop being a fucking prima donna. And I know Mike Tomlinson is shaking his head being like, I got to deal with this for 18 weeks? Hell no. Like, I mean, like, if we can get like 9 wins out of him, fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could save my season, but not Aaron's, because Aaron's ain't coming the fuck back after the season is done. So I'm saying like this could be the season where Mike Tomlinson can either be like, you know what, I'm done with this. You'll see, either I'm done or I'm retiring as a head coach for the Steelers, and I'm not going to no other team.
See, to me, Aaron Rodgers doesn't need to get him to the playoffs. He just needs to get a win in the playoffs because the team is already good enough to get to the playoffs without him. So I'm not concerned about him needing to get us another 5 or 6 games. I don't think that's who he is at this stage in his career. But he does throw the ball over the middle of the field, and Pittsburgh hasn't had a guy willing to throw the ball over the middle of the field since Ben Roethlisberger retired. So it's been a big problem with this offense, and it's something that Rodgers has always done and done successfully. I don't need him to come in and throw 300 yards a game. I need him to throw 220 and use the middle of the field.
You know, here's the thing, man. I really believe that the hate that the Steelers are getting this season isn't because of their team and isn't because we hate them. It's because of Aaron Rodgers coming there. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has made people hate him to the point where whoever he plays for, they pretty much are against that team, even though that team is good.
AK, he is the reincarnated Brett Favre. He reincarnated Brett Favre in living color. Everything that Brett Favre did in his career, Aaron Rodgers did. Only thing that he did not do was go to the Vikings.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So here's the thing, man. You got 10 wins with a broken down Lamar or Wilson last year. You know, Aaron Rodgers can get you 12. I'm sorry, guys. Face the facts. DK Metcalf is a freaking monster. That defense is fantastic. I would give everything. I would give everything in the world to have TJ Watt. Everything, dude. Like just having TJ and Nolan Smith on each side would just be reckoning for everyone.
With Jalen Carter in the middle?
Yeah, dude, that would just be reckoning. So props to you, man. You guys got a legend over there. And your defense and your secondary, oh my God. You guys, I pray to God this is a Pennsylvania Super Bowl this year. I pray to God, dude. It has to happen it has to happen in my lifetime before I die. I still got 60 years. We can make it happen. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people are underestimating what Aaron can do. I know he is 41. I know he isn't the old Aaron Rodgers, but like James said, he does not have to be that guy. And this team is built well enough that he doesn't have to be the main focal point. He doesn't have to be the superstar to make shit happen. He can have other people do it for him. So, no, man, sky's the limit for this team. I think this might be your year to make some noise, bro. So go get it.
Listen, if Aaron Rodgers can be an effective leader for that team, then everything that AK said, I can get behind that. But if he doesn't, if he's acting like a prima donna, I'm expecting 10 wins.
I will say this, though. I'm still scratching my head why you traded George Pickens. Yeah. I understand that he is a drama guy, you know, and Tomlin's really good at containing drama for so long, but I'm pretty sure that's why you did it. But, dude, I would have given you way more if you would have had DK and Pickens. You know what I mean? Like, I'm probably saying 14 wins if you had them both. You know?
Yeah. Now we got to face him twice this year.
Yeah, thanks for that, by the way. Hope it was worth it, James.
All you got to do is get somebody to tick him off early in the game, and he'll get ejected. Don't worry about it. Just put a backup corner with a mean right hook in against him, and you'll get him out of the game.
Damn.
It's the mind games with him. It's the mind games. Yeah. So football talk with Bo. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. The
What up, Bo?
line of the Steelers is plus 4,500 before and after Rodgers signing.
Meaning
Yep.
there's no faith in this.
Didn't affect him at all. Yeah.
Meaning there's
It's
no faith in this. Like
Hey, you know what
like,
makes
even
that
they
great,
said-
though?
Yeah,
You know
even
what
they
makes
said
that
that prima
great, though?
donna can probably not change the culture, or probably can change it a little bit, but it won't have no real effect.
And this is what's great about it, too, man. Because no one's expecting Aaron Rodgers to do anything. That's why he's going to. You know what I mean? When you don't have any questions at all and you're just like, he already failed, that's when he's going to get you.
Okay,
So,
wait,
I'm just waiting.
listen. If I ever hear Aaron Rodgers getting involved in some insurance fraud scam, all right, like like Brett Favre did, then he's on the same plateau as his ass.
Means I need to put 50. Yeah, Jose, put 50 on it.
So,
Or lose $50.
yeah,
I
so
don't
for
think it's a
me-
loss, dude. Go ahead, Mitch.
Put
So
your
for me,
50
really
on
quick,
the over
I
on
need to
the
put up-
wins.
Jose, just put up $25, man. Don't put up the whole 50, bro. Just see if that scheme works first. If it works, then you add on to it, and then you make some money back. But
Actually, even smarter yet, just do 25 on and 25 against it, and then you come out either way. You know,
broke even and shit.
so for me, I'm just actually glad it is done because James, how many times on this very show you and I were talking about your Steelers just possibly getting Aaron Rodgers? It's just like the whole drama thing, him on Pat McAfee and stuff like that. We were just waiting for the day, and now it's finally done, and we can just swipe it and just like put it to the wayside.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
for me. I'm just
We've been-
glad that it's done.
We've been forced to talk about it since March, basically. So it is
Yeah,
really
pretty
nice
much.
to have it over with.
Sheesh, man.
Brett had a great time with the Vikings. So if he can have the same arc, he's about to ball out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We
the
shall
Jets
see.
are just a dumpster fire, man. You can't go there and expect to do well.
Right? No, I'm about to say he's gonna burn that seed to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
you know what?
With
You sent
vengeance.
you sent Le'Veon Bell to the Jets to die. The Jets sent Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers to live.
Oh, shit.
So, AK, you also wanted to talk about the rookie quarterbacks. This is what you and I would come up with when we were doing the topic. So, what you
Oh.
want to talk about with the rookies here?
Oh, I was just gonna ask how everyone feels about the rookies this year, and who do you guys think anyone's gonna have like a CJ Stroud season as a rookie, or do you think they're all going to have a more difficult time this year?
It's definitely not going to be the legendary man.
Well, it's hard for me to see Cam Ward doing it too. I mean, I expect a lot from Cam Ward, but it's still going to be tough for him too. So I just didn't know how you guys
Yeah.
thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't think there's gonna be like a breakout QB rookie that's gonna be coming out this season. I think a lot of them they're gonna be kind of like finding like their footing in the systems that they're in, especially under their offensive coordinator right now and stuff like that. So I think a lot of these teams are trying to just morph these new guys and becoming the new tomorrows of the quarterbacks for whatever franchise that like they're probably going to be in and stuff, depending on what happens with whoever. Because everyone's time's not really going to last forever, and some people are going to want to be like, you know what, I want out, or they can't pay me, so I want out, and they got someone back there, or they're going to use them as trade pieces. It's all about one big chess game. You keep some of these people around, some of the organization want them, they can trade them.
James, how about you?
I don't really think any of these rookies have a great situation that they're going into. A lot of them, the teams had a lot of pieces that they're missing. So it's going to be interesting to see who can really make something happen. I'm excited to see what Cam Ward can do with Tennessee. but I don't think that roster is all that stellar around him. So he might have a real uphill battle trying to make something happen there. Then I'm going to be interested to see, of course, what that battle is in Cleveland, because there's a good chance that a rookie quarterback is going to get a lot of time. Is it going to be Shedeur Sanders? Is it going to be Dylan Gabriel? I don't know. They got two of them. One of those guys is probably, if not both of them, going to see some significant playing time this year.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm actually-
the only thing that I ask these franchises to do, man, is start being more patient with these young quarterbacks. Stop throwing them away so soon. If you believe 3 years is enough, you're wrong. You know, I remember watching an interview with Drew Brees one time, and they asked Drew Brees when he knew he was a really good quarterback in the NFL, when he felt comfortable. He's like, it took me 5 years to learn it all. 5 years to learn every defense, to learn every way they could line it up and make it look. He's like, it took me 5 years to really, really hone in on everything. Sometimes you guys don't do these young quarterbacks any justice, and you move on from them and you ruin their careers before they even get started.
Yeah.
Look at Sam Darnold. You had him in the Jets for 4 years, 5 years, whatever it was. You destroyed the kid's confidence and character. You send him to Minnesota, and the kid balled out last year. Now, he didn't look so hot in the playoff game, but I can't take away what he did in the regular season. Look at Geno Smith. Geno Smith was a Jet.
Preach.
Geno Smith sat there. You wasted him. You sent him around. He winds up in Seattle with Pete Carroll, a well-known head coach, and he turns him into a very good quality quarterback. He's not great, but he sure as hell ain't who he used to be.
He's back with them
You
now.
guys, yeah. So and now he's down there with the Raiders and back with them. So all I'm saying is sometimes these kids' faults for being quarterbacks are not their own. It falls on the GM and it falls on the owners as well. And I'll tell you, some of these kids are very talented. And you're going to find that out whether they go to a new team, like I've been saying, and ball out, or they figure it out there and you guys help them. But sometimes we move off of them way too soon, man. So just take your time on them. Teach them. Because we all know the NCAA does not teach these guys appropriately anymore. They don't teach them like they used to back in the early 2000s, 90s, you know. They were trained differently. Now it's more about money, and it's more about how much money you can bring, you know, that university and just getting you through to the NFL. These guys are more raw now ever coming out of the draft than what they were before. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take these guys more time to get up to the level that they need to be.
Yeah. So is this year kind of like a bad year for the quarterbacks coming out this draft? It's not a good year, right? I think James, you and I were talking about that a while ago.
As far as the rookie class that just got drafted, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of most people's opinion. It was Cam Ward, and then there was a decent gap between him and the next group of guys. There's an expectation that a lot of these guys will be good backups or adequate level, like low-end starters.
Yep.
So it's not that this is like a bad quarterback class per se. It's just that you're not likely getting your next Lamar Jackson or your next Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. Those guys weren't really in the class. At least that's the perspective of most of the people in the draft community. I'm going to throw a name out there that's not a rookie, but it's basically going to be like a rookie season for him. What about J.J. McCarthy? I mean, his whole rookie season was a scratch. He's definitely going to be the starter coming into this year. He could look really good this year in what is basically kind of a rookie season for him.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because you got Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the game, in my opinion. So the sky's the limit for JJ McCarthy. I'm not saying that as just a Michigan fan. I'm just saying that it's going to be fun watching JJ McCarthy. AK, how do you feel about JJ with the Vikings?
I think JJ is going to be good, man. You know, I think he could do what Bo Nix did last year. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Bo Nix was stellar in Denver, and I really think that kid's going to have a bright future. You know, he looks really good. My whole thing with JJ is, holy shit, man! I saw a QB ranking the other day where somebody had him 12th. How the fuck's the kid 12th and he hasn't even thrown a damn ball in football yet? I don't understand that, but okay.
Because
You know,
yo,
that's
now,
my
all right, now,
only
AK,
thing.
now, just to answer that shit, they're basing it off of whatever scout report that like they reading from all these other
I know,
newsletters
but that's
and
still
shit like that.
preposterous.
But then you remember how back in the day, right? How like these scouts from different universities, they'll be in the audience watching these kids and be like, "Yo, they got to give them the eye test." Nowadays, it's all about the analytics and shit. Okay, what they did against this team, this player, whatever, right? Back in the day, how we were growing up, and you didn't pass the eye test, then you wasn't gonna be shit. And then you see
No.
anything special in you to be like, "Yo," and we craft this kid within like 4 to 5 years, he could be a top star for us. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But now they're going based off of whatever highlights and shit that's being played, whatever interviews that like they do. And let's just face facts about the NFL Combine, man. It's just another fucking form of fucking slavery, except they're putting the camera right in front of you and say, "Go ahead and exercise for us, and let us see what the hell that like you can do." Doesn't that sound like a fucking experimental fucking process right there? I'm like, how can you really know a person's true potential if they're going to do exercise training?
Yeah. No, I feel you, man.
I mean, like for me as a black man, I find that kind of fucking weird.
Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So
Hey man, I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
Oh, I guess.
no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I really like that JJ McCarthy pickup. Is there they let go of Sam Darnold, right? They must have a lot of faith in JJ McCarthy here. I completely forgot about Darnold now. What a year he's had with the offense this past year. Sam Darnold with the Vikings was dangerous.
He saved me a bunch on my fantasy league last year. him, Joshua Dobbs, and one other QB that I had saved me last year.
Yeah. Crazy. So yeah, guys, so that's gonna conclude the NFL Sunday Morning Show right here on the Hardcore Sports Network. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe. Shout out to Big C from Finn the Posse Podcast. Shout out to James from Steelers by the Lake Podcast. Congrats again on 100 subs. Blackheart, thank you for joining us for the first time, man. If you guys are big wrestling fans, Over the Top Ropes Network is gonna start in when is that gonna start? Like in a couple of weeks, right?
It's Mitch once again off the top ropes, but calls the OTTR Network, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back up the beginning of August. SummerSlam weekend is gonna be crazy. First live simulcast on the OTTR Network and here's Hardcore Sports Network August 1st. After dark, the Marman Show, Black Arts Angels is the very next day at 4 p.m. season 5 for them. I think it is. Yep. Yeah, season 5 for them, and the Wrestling Asylum's coming back. I think the very next day, I think on Sunday. We still gotta release that information now and stuff. August 3rd. So we'll be back up and running the beginning of August.
All right, sounds good. And AK, how about yourself, man?
Yeah.
What you got coming up?
Here pretty soon. Me, Halftime, Mrs. Halftime, and Jerry Lee will be starting up the Wandering Minds again.
Okay.
I'll be bringing that back. And then here soon, once things start up again, I'll be doing some football content. So, but yeah, mostly I'm on here with you guys. You know that. Appreciate you guys. Happy Father's Day again to everyone out there. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And until next time, have a good one.
Yep, we'll catch you guys later, man. Have a good rest of your Sunday and Father's Day. Let's go Eagles. Peace, guys.